This segment of the news is brought to you by Smitty's Cards and Coins. Would you like to know what your collectibles are worth? Come by 2281 Postal Road, Unit 4, across from the post office.
Well, Northern California is currently being devastated by out-of-control wildfires. In fact, the governor has declared a state of emergency. Angela Miles talks about those fires in today's Business First Brief.
Tapping our news, wildfires continue to burn out of control in California as rescuers fight to find survivors. CoreLogic is pegging the cost at $65 billion for California homes in the Napa and Santa Rosa areas lost in the flames. Wildfires have already cost the U.S. more than $2 billion this year. As the stock market rages on, more corporations are coming out with spin-offs and buybacks. It's something that tends to happen in bull markets. Walmart is buying back $20 billion in shares. Pfizer is considering a sale or spin-off of its consumer healthcare business. Honeywell is planning 2 company launches, its home products and transportation businesses that could become 2 separate companies by the end of this year. $100 million later, Procter & Gamble is declaring victory over billionaire investor Nelson Peltz. Peltz fought hard for a seat on the P&G board. He owns Trian Hedge Fund, which says that the shareholder vote was too close to call.
And City of Orlando employees have offered their resources to Las Vegas following the mass shooting that occurred on October 1st.
We gained some valuable information in Orlando following the Pulse tragedy in June of 2016, and we vowed that if there was ever another community in need, that we would offer our resources and assistance.
So we first got on the ground, and the first thing we did really just had a walkthrough and just heard of how everything was happening, what was going on, and to see how it was set up here from the folks from the Clark County Fire Department and the Las Vegas Fire Department, who've done a phenomenal job of setting this up before we got here, listened to what they were doing and how they were doing it, and then sat down in a room with them and said, okay, well, this is what you're doing. We're going to have to start, changing, because it went from a reunification process in the very beginning and notification for the families to then becoming where we are now, which is the assistance center and providing the assistance to meet the immediate needs of the families and the victims.
And after an incident like this, there are so many different factors that a local community needs to think about, from family assistance center efforts to vigils to memorials to raising funds for the victims. There are so many different components of response and providing aid and helping the community heal.
So the first thing is this assistance center provides us hope and the start of the healing process. It's basically to help provide the immediate needs to the families and victims of the tragedy, to make sure that there's a safe and secure environment and private environment to have all the needs, all the organizations in one place, so it's very easy for the families to get the assistance that they might not even know they need.
The fact that you can take a best practice and co-locate agencies in one location to make it easier for those victims to get what they need, whatever those services may be needed based on the incident, that's a really important thing that can be replicated and learned from one incident to another.
Everyone in Las Vegas was affected by this, whether they're there or not. They feel something about this, and it's normal to feel that way, and this center gives that hope.
So I think Orlando and Las Vegas are very similar in that we're both tourist destinations, and so I think it's important, just like it was in Orlando, for the residents and the workers of Las Vegas to come together and really be one and unite and show the world that, hey, this is our home and this is a place we care about, and we're going to come together and we're going to help one another heal, we're going to be there for each other, and we're going to come out of this stronger than we have ever been before.
A balloon release will happen this Friday at Who's Dunes.
We are going to have a balloon release and a potluck dinner where all the bartenders are joining in and bringing in food, and they're all volunteering their time for a benefit for Las Vegas, for the victims of the tragedy.
And so this is a fundraiser. People can stop on by. When is this going to be happening?
It's 6 o'clock on Friday, and it's at Who's Dunes, 900 West 372 Highway.
All right, and so is there going to be music and other things?
We have Tiffany and her family are going to provide entertainment all night, and we're going to have a potluck, and Who's Dunes is donating $1 for every drink that is sold to the fund. And all of the bartenders are donating their time and their money for what they would have got paid into the fund. And anybody that can come on down and donate more money if they can't afford a whole lot, $2, $100, it doesn't matter. We'll take anything.
Is this going to go into the GoFundMe account?
It's going to go into the GoFundMe account. We're going to put in a lump sum for our community because, you know, everybody can't just send a few dollars, I figured. So if we do it as a lump sum as a community, it would be a bigger amount, and we can help in our little way to help, because they're going to need a lot of help.
Should you bring a balloon?
No, I have 58 balloons already ordered. I need 58 people to help me send them off, though. So that would be great.
So come on down to Who's Dunes on Friday night. It's all going to begin at 6 p.m.
Yes, it'll all begin at 6 p.m. and there's going to be a lot of food, a lot of good entertainment. She's fantastic, Tiffany, and a lot of good help. And every little dime counts. And Who's Dunes is donating, like I said, so it's going to be a good night. It'll be fun. And then we're going to just put it all in one big bundle and send it all to the GoFundMe.
All right, and if you want to bring a little bit more for the donation, you could, of course, do that.
Oh, of course, yes. And we're taking any donation that anybody can afford, along with the drinks and everything else.
And a man with the record of domestic battery has been taken into custody again. We'll tell you all about that after the break.